As a homemaker, there have been some important habits that I have created that really help make my morning run smooth, especially as a mom of 3 kids and a homeschooling mom at that. So first of all, I wake up early. I usually go outside and walk if it's not too cold, and then I do my Bible reading and a devotional just to get that inspiration, that encouragement, and just time in God's Word. And then time to do a little more workout. So I hit the ground running when I get up, and I just feel so much better having known I spent time with God and for myself before the kids have even woken up. Now, there are seasons of life when I'm nursing a lot or just other stages of life where I cannot get up earlier than the kids when we're exhausted, things like that. So this is the stage of life I'm in, but habits that I do feel are important. Then I usually try to get most of the way ready before the kids come up, before I get breakfast rolling. And on a typical day, my husband goes to work but eats breakfast with us before he heads off to work. So I like to have us all eat our breakfast together, and we actually eat 3 meals a day together because my husband's business is close enough to home that he can come home for lunch from work. So we all get our protein-packed and veggie-filled breakfast with some sourdough bread. All right, next step is to clean up after each meal. That is a morning habit. That's an everyday habit, every time of day habit. I just like to reset the kitchen after each meal and just get it ready for the next thing that needs to happen. And I usually do this while the kiddos are playing for a little bit. They're getting dressed and ready, and that's why it helps to have yourself ready before them so you can help them out if you have littles, because littles definitely do need the help with the brushing the teeth, the getting ready, the encouragement to continue to make their beds. So along with taking my supplements, as you see, I hydrate. So I use these asparagus jars for drinking. They're like 2.5 cups. And I try to drink multiple of those a day. So the supplements I take are beef liver, prenatal vitamin, and magnesium. That's it right now for what I take. But just feel like that's what I need for my body, and that is what I do, and hydrate on top of that. Then I let the light in. I can't, especially in the winter, leave the blinds or the curtains closed, even if it's a cloudy day. But today was a brilliantly sunshiny, windy day. We let the light in all throughout the house. Here's that tip. Make your bed. Actually, it is sheets day, so I'm unmaking the bed to remake the bed. So we wash our sheets once a week, and I had a friend who actually told me, good for you, I only get to about once a month. So here's something I heard, that most of the bacteria, the dead skin cells on our body, our bedding is probably one of the dirtiest places that could be found. I haven't done my research on it, so don't quote me on this, but that just got me one time, and I made sure to wash my bedding at least once a week. If kids are sick or something, it's more than once a week. So I find time and make a priority to unmake my bed and put clean sheets on, because I always have an extra set, even if it's just one, to make my bed on the sheets washing day. And it's always just such a beautiful sight to walk in after you've made it and have that clean, beautifully made look of a bed. In the mornings, I always try to get something baked or made in the kitchen as well. So this particular day was also our bread making day. So I am doing the sourdough sandwich loaf mix 2. I'm doing a cranberry pepita cream cheese bread this time. I tried a walnut one, and one of my daughters didn't prefer the walnuts in it. So I tried the pepitas this time. You can see there's little fingers reaching up to try to help, but I like making one kind of a special bread and then one be a regular just sandwich loaf for those sandwiches or just the other times we need to use it, not in a sweeter type breakfast bread. So make something in the morning, whether it's your muffins, your granola, your bread for the week, getting supper even started, get that rolling in the morning. If you have kids that you homeschool or preschool age kids that you're home with, one tip is to read to them. I enjoy reading even picture books. We enjoy reading some good quality older literature as well, just to get their brains and minds working. So read to them, spend some quality time in some good literature. And then, of course, homeschooling, if you do that, got to do that in the morning. I have also started taking some electrolytes. It's sometimes in the afternoon, but this morning I felt like I needed just a little bit of a pick-me-up. So I find this packet of electrolytes on Azure Standard's website. It might be on Amazon, I'm not sure. But I really have enjoyed it, and it really seems to boost my energy, especially like mid-morning or mid-afternoon when you get that slump, just to have that little boost and pick-me-up. And another tip, always have the laundry going. Of course, if I took my sheets off my bed in the kids' bed, we were doing some sheets as well. But it was time to fold some of the napkins, and so getting those done, those laundered and folded while the kids play, or one of them sitting at the table coloring, just keeping the laundry moving on a regular basis is really crucial, and especially if you're home during the morning, to get that done as well. I also like to clean an area or two of my home each day. So today was the bedding and then the back porch laundry area. We have not had a lot of snow where we're at, so it hasn't gotten super muddy and gross in our back entry, thankfully, because it's really hard to do laundry when there's mud all over the floor. But this space on top of my washer and dryer was the catch-all for a while. So it's time to move things to their rightful place, or declutter, or throw away what we didn't need on top of there, and dust a little bit. It gets so dusty because it's not even an insulated space. It's the space, like I said, that we enter through most often, and it just gets a lot of love in this space. And I did a video last year about neutralize the ugly in this space, because it's not the most beautiful, not the most practical, not a very good size space, but I'm trying to make it work and lovely and beautiful even for what we have. So a good way to do that as well is to declutter and clean those spaces often. My oldest helped me sweep it a little bit while I cleaned the surfaces and decluttered what needed to be done. And then, of course, when the washer was having a moment of rest, when it wasn't being used, to clean out the dispenser area and clean out the wash bin area and just keep those well maintained so that your laundry is smelling good, so that it doesn't need fixing, but just to maintain those areas. So I like to clean a space each day when I can. And I do try to get a lot of this done in the morning, especially homeschooling for us with a kindergarten takes about an hour. So it doesn't take all morning. I know if you homeschool and you have multiple ages, especially middle school, high school, it takes a lot longer. But where I'm at in my stage of life, this is what I like to do and what I do in the mornings often. And I really enjoy getting a lot of this done in the morning so that in the afternoon time, during quiet time, I can relax, or I can edit a video, I can work on my blog post. And then after the kiddos have their rest and nap time, we can play outside, we can spend some quality time together, I can prep supper. So a lot of the front loading of the day is very helpful, getting things done in the morning. Not perfect, but I don't strive for perfection, but much better, much cleaner. And I know it's going to get all dirty again next week, but it still is so satisfying to have this space well loved and cared for, because it is well used. All right, so the bread is coming out of the oven, and I had to cut it in the middle because I got these new bread pans, and I'm really enjoying them. They're stainless steel, actually. I can link them down below. I think I got them from Amazon. But it seems to be taking the bread a little bit longer to bake. Anyways, so I had to double check that just to make sure it was done in the middle. And then it's lunch prep time. We had a taco skillet bake left over that I threw in the oven to warm, and then just some frozen mixed vegetables that we get from Costco. That is a simple lunch, leftovers and frozen vegetables. In the summer it would be fresh vegetables, but this is where we're at and this is what we've got, because while that is warming, we get to go spend a little time outside even in the morning. It's brisk, it's windy, but it's that fresh air before lunchtime and nap time, I think, is so great for all of us. And this is why I think having morning routines are very important, because in the afternoon, when kids are resting or napping, which I highly recommend also if you don't have your kids having quiet time and nap time and you're home with them all day, to do so. Even if you have them in a different room, if they're older, for an hour to read a book or build Legos, something like that. All my kids share one room and they all either nap or one just plays really quietly on her bed. It just works well. That way I can get some time alone as well, and I can do some projects like painting, which is continuing in the kitchen as this project has taken a little longer than anticipated, but it is coming, repainting the kitchen cabinets and then the trim, of course, and so I can spend some time doing what I enjoy, so that's why they get to have their nap time and quiet time. Plus, I do it during that time so that little hands don't touch wet paint. This typically tends to happen in the morning, but today it was during quiet time. I write down the plan for the day or the week. Since it is a Monday when I filmed this video, I was just making sure that everything we were doing was written down in my paper planner, and that I have my meal ideas written down, and things are just written out for me, because I do like a good paper planner. So that can be in the morning, but it happened to be in the afternoon time. I am also sharing our supper, which is going to be a white chicken chili. I have made this for you a few times, but haven't shared the recipe before. So I am getting that ready because the kiddos are awake from nap. And like I said, in the afternoons, we spend a lot of time outside, especially if it's a little nicer. We play together, read more books. The kids just have a lot of free play. That is kind of our day, and this is the meal we're having for our supper, the white chicken chili. Like I said, I am making it actually dairy-free, so it has a can of coconut milk in it instead. And I had cooked a whole chicken a couple days prior, so it is such a convenient meal to have. And actually, I will be having the recipe on the blog, daviekilling.com, because it's one of my favorites, and you can make it with milk, or you can make it dairy-free as well with a can of coconut milk, which when I first had it, that was the way I had it, and so I just make it that way because I really enjoy that. So enjoy the mornings, set some routines for yourself so that you can have a successful morning. And not just morning, but honestly, making the morning smooth and functional and just making your day run well creates such a more peaceful atmosphere in a home, especially when you're a home mama, a homeschooling mama, and you live life in your home. So I am continuing my chili and going to be enjoying that, and you can enjoy it too by checking out the blog, daviekilling.com, to enjoy for your next winter weeknight meal. It comes together in 30 minutes or less. But having those routines, again, I'm going to remind you and myself to maintain those habits and routines for a home that is filled with love, joy, and definitely schedules that set your life up for success. Have a blessed and wonderful day, friends.